Welcome back to Educated Homie, a show so dope even the feds watch it. This is called How to Beat Life. You either beat life or life beats you. In a world where societal stigmas are used to confuse, stagnate, and box us in, it is very easy for us to lose sight of our true purpose. Many factors, such as trauma, abuse, anger, ego, pride, and more, blinds us, thus limiting our confidence, critical thinking, and our creativity. All are prerequisites for prosperity. But what if? What if even these negatively perceived obstacles can be transmuted into something positive? What if our vices and impediments, as we know them, were actually tools for internal growth and external progress, instead of a catalyst for perpetuating hate, violence, and ignorance? Too often, we allow ourselves to be defined by just a fraction of our experiences, ignoring the possibility of substantial growth and personal development. Proof of this lies in just asking people, who are you? If you ask 100 people, who are you? 90 of them will detail events, struggles, and experiences, mistaking who they are with what they've been through. Our convoluted perceptions shape these parochial ideologies. We then start to incorporate them into our beliefs as to who we are, often wearing them as badges of honor. Alternatively, the transmutation of these things will bring into fruition all of your dreams and aid in all of your future victories. It is not taught, but it is true. Our vices, our impediments, and our detriments are transmutable. For every illness, ailment, dis-ease, and human state, there is a God-given alternative cure, if not several, with a free prescription from nature available to us all. There are no exceptions to this rule. Unaware of our own potential, we take a culmination of these factors and our experiences, and we mash them together, and we ignorantly carve out a small, trifling sliver and sculpt it into what we believe is our identity. And we learn to force ourselves to live up to this character for life. This is actually the antithesis of living and the source of most of our misery. It is exactly how life beats you. Just as our bodies evolve from a tiny embryo to an adult with limitless potential, our minds and spirits must constantly evolve along with it. Life, when lived purposefully, is the most beautiful example of progression as there is any in nature. Growth and change are not only constant, but compulsory. It's mandatory at a minimum. All of the best competitors, the GOATs, as we like to call them, in every category of anything you know known to man, they all had to grow and evolve in order to compete at the highest level over time. You cannot beat others, let alone life, if you are not willing to grow and constantly change and evolve. Not only do physical shapes and colors of animals undergo slow, orderly change from one generation to another, but the mind of man is also undergoing constant change. The you from yesterday is gone forever. It's a memory, and sometimes it's an interesting story. But it's gone, and for a very specific reason. The you waiting inside you tomorrow is still a mystery, waiting to be discovered, understood, and adventured. But you'll never see what's ahead if you're constantly looking back, constantly judging and comparing yourself to yesterday. There's only one direction for progress, and that's forward. Proof is every single Sunday, your favorite football team plays against another new offense and another defense, right? A whole new offense and defense every Sunday. Even when it's a division game against a familiar team, they still play a new offense and new defense. Every game plan for every opponent changes. They not only have to adapt every single game, they have to adapt on every single down. Life is the same way. Every day is a new game. Every moment is a new down. You need to embrace the change, to be ready for it, and to have a strategy as it is occurring, because with or without your permission, change will happen. Stop embracing a stagnated position on who you are and where you are in life. There is no going back to the old me. The old you is dead. As Bruce Lee said, be water, be fluid. Fast food chains like Kentucky Fried Chicken, Burger King, Pizza Hut, all of them had to evolve over time. They now sell baked chicken, vegan options, hoagies, and healthier menu items like salads and veggies. Otherwise, they would not exist to this day. But just as these chains had to adapt to survive, so too must we as individuals. Had they not evolved, there's a great chance these staple chains would be closed now and we would not know of them, just as they will not know of you if you choose not to evolve. There are those who appear alive and physically well, but they are dead inside. And then there are those who have been long dead, but their ideas, their words, and their name live on to this day. Life is not simply black and white. It's full of variables and contingencies. Take the question, are you a lover or a fighter? Most people would choose either one. But why limit us to just one aspect of our personality? If you say you're a fighter, are you saying you're incapable of love or you're not a lover? If you say you're a lover, then what happens when you have to fight for something you love? To truly thrive, we must embrace being both a lover and a fighter. Do not limit yourself to one identity or a either or situation. You must adapt and evolve to beat life. These changes are needed. Every day and every moment is a new game, a new play, a new down. Remember, he who lies solely on warlike measures shall be exterminated. He who relies solely on peaceful measures shall perish. This is from The Art of War. I, like you, I was boxed in by circumstance. I couldn't pick the environment I was raised in. No animal or species gets to. The younger me missed this obvious fact because I was too busy complaining about my circumstances. We were born by ourselves, not for ourselves. The moment I thought bigger than me, the moment I thought bigger than my situation and my hardships was the moment I began to see how I was perpetuating my own misery. We have to take what we've been given and make the best of it. This is why every single person in the world was gifted creativity. Creative problem solving is one of the most natural gifts given to us all. Problem is, you've been told for so long what you can't do that you actually believe it now. You have the ability of creativity to change any situation you're in right now. Just look at a child. Children are extremely creative, but once they get to school, their creativity drops. Think about it. In school, children learn that there are only one answer to each question, one definition to each word, and they usually are required to conform to conventional social settings and situations and ideologies. Due to the sake of survival, of wanting to pass along with your peers, you'll lock in and adapt to and emulate all of those things. So the journey to unlocking your true potential is not an easy one. It requires unlearning limiting beliefs that you have ingrained into you since your childhood and redefining exactly who you are. It is a process that takes time, patience, and a willingness to face your demons head on. For me, it began with acknowledging the pain that had been the driving force of my self-destructive behavior. It was only by confronting my trauma that I was able to move and see beyond the persona I gave myself and that I believed that I had to live up to. But even then, that wasn't enough. I had to actively rework my brain. I had to actively think positive and embrace growth and change. It requires a conscious effort to surround yourself with positive influences, to seek guidance, and to take accountability for all your actions. Even when someone else puts you in that situation, taking accountability prevents you from allowing them to do it a second time. So I engaged in, endorsed, and promoted alarming levels of toxicity and negativity. It was the culture around me and promoted to me since birth. It was sold in every single medium: TV, outside, video games, movies, music, you name it. And then having detrimental and negative parents and no guidance, I was a lost, angry teen with no hope, no direction, a story that was destined to end early and sad, only to be repeated with each generation. I had believed all the stereotypes and stigmas bestowed upon me, never questioning the limited room it gave me for my own creativity and growth. I had to undo all of these things. It is your individual responsibility in this world to succeed. That is your sole responsibility, and you cannot afford to let anyone's ideas, idiosyncrasies, or notions get in the way of your success. During my childhood, police came to our house often. Fights were extremely common. Real fights. War. We had knives, chains, baseball bats, you name it. And I still have scars to prove it. Even, in fact, my first attempt at suicide was 12. And more than one of my siblings attempted this. I've been in a foster home. I've been in lighthouse runaway shelters. I spent a great deal of my teenage years in juvenile detention. I've slept outside. I've slept in people's cars. I slept on floors and couches. My mother and father were both physically, sexually abused early in life. Both never ever recovered. So it robbed me of having parental experiences. My father disappeared from my life very early, and my mother spent most of my childhood basically physically, mentally, and spiritually tearing me down every single chance she could. My mother would call the police on me and have me arrested just because we would have an argument. And she did this all the way up to the day I turned 18. Fed up, I left home and never returned. And from there, my mother never acknowledged me again. She never acknowledged me graduating high school. She refused to even take the ticket. No one in my family, not a single individual, came to my high school graduation, told me congratulations, bought me a card, anything. I've never had family support.